I'm absolutely thrilled and delighted that my fireworks archive has been acquired by the Nevada Museum of Art so that that work can be seen in the context of the history of land art. In the 1960s, when I was living and working in Southern California, I started working on color systems to try and figure out how to use color to convey emotive states. I did this big collaborative piece in Pasadena on the street where we lived called Raymond Rose Ritual Environment. During the evening, while all the events were going on, the color wheel was turning, the smoke was rising, the light was shining, and I looked up and there was this ephemeral color in the air. And I thought, that's it, I'm gonna work with colored smokes. I started by just going out and buying colored smokes and then going with my friends to various sites and igniting them. Everybody would do something. We went all over Southern California at a time when you didn't need any permits. You could just go out and do things. I had big ideas even then. I wanted to fill the Grand Canyon with smoke, for example. And by then I was interested in seeing if I could make images with colored smokes and fireworks. And I used a very age-old fireworks technique, which is very labor intensive. It's called lance work. And lance work is basically by hand building a framework to support the fireworks and the smoke. And so that when they erupt, an image emerges. And that was the first one I ever did, called the Butterfly for Oakland. But that was the last piece I did until Pacific Standard Time. I picked up where I left off in fireworks on the shores of Lake Merritt, a butterfly for Oakland, and I did a butterfly for Pomona in the football field of Pomona College, which I really enjoyed. My beautiful female butterfly form emerging from and taking over the football field, which seemed a perfect metaphor for my effort to soften and feminize the environment in Southern California, which when I was doing those smoke pieces was singularly inhospitable to women artists. I had to work with a fireworks company because things had become much more regulated by then. One of the luckiest days of my life was walking into the office of Chris Souza at Pyro Spectaculars. He came on to do a butterfly for Pomona. He brought his mother, who was the first licensed female pyrotechnician in Southern California, and he also brought an all-female crew. And since that time, I have been working with Chris and my husband, Donald, on a series of pieces. We've done ever increasingly larger pieces, which culminated in a huge piece in Prospect Park in Brooklyn. The pieces we've been doing, which I now call smoke sculptures, are much closer to my early work in the sense that it's mixing colors in the air with the intention still of feminizing and softening and beautifying the landscape, and also making a kind of gift, because our smoke sculptures are just that. They're emotive color in the air to be experienced and enjoyed. I've always been more interested in my smoke pieces as a gesture of liberation, although I don't think I understood them as that in the late 1960s. I am very glad that my smoke sculptures are now being looked at in the context of land art, because for a long time they weren't looked at all. Nobody even remembered that I had done them. The Getty Pacific Standard Time Performance Festival ignited interest in my early fireworks pieces and has also provided the basis for my being able to expand upon those in scale and color mixing. I particularly am enjoying painting in the sky with colored smokes, which is what I have been trying to do recently. I'm absolutely thrilled that my fireworks archive has been acquired by the Nevada Museum of Art, so that work can be seen in the context of the history of land art and can also contribute to subverting and changing and correcting the idea of land art as a mainly masculinist pursuit. Women have brought, I believe, a different sensibility to working in the land. I had an aversion to the idea of destroying or manipulating nature, because after all, here we are in 2020, and we're seeing the consequences of our disregard for nature. It has its roots in that attitude of dominance in which male artists bulldozed, excavated, destroyed, and undermined the earth in an effort to imprint their sensibility, as opposed to finding ways to merge with the glory of the earth, which is what I hope my smoke sculptures do.